Hi guys, so in today's video I want to tackle this tank. Let's have a look at it. I've already got pieces of wood ready to go in. I've got some Acer Campestre field maple. If you look in the corner of the tank, there's a remnant of a filter, and I've tried to get it out. I've tried all sorts, but it's siliconed to the bottom of the tank, and there's absolutely no way I can get a knife or anything underneath to cut it. Obviously that's why it must have been left in last time. So what I'm going to do is just fill it up with gravel and hide it with plants. So what my plan is with this tank is I want to set it up for the angels. Here they are here. Oh wow, they've laid more eggs. Yeah, so I want to set it up for the angels as a Blackwater tank, and then get some other fish in here, that maybe tetras. But as I say, I want it to be Blackwater. What I was initially planning on doing is setting up like an island in the middle of wood, rocks, and planting it up. But because of this, I'm going to hide it with the plants. So I'm going to start with the scape in this corner. I'm going to start with the scape in this corner. So I'm just going to shoot up to my local fish shop now to get some scaping stuff. So I've just shot up to Premier Aquatics now to get some rock. By the magic of video editing, there you go, got some rock. So what I want to do next is I want to try and find what I call, I've got a lot of terms in my head, I've realised. I call it the superhero pose, which every rock has got a superhero pose. I don't like the idea of just putting a rock in a tank and it just look static. It needs to look dynamic, it needs to look like there's flow or movement, just something just to give it something that draws your eye to it, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't make sense. Superhero pose, superhero pose, superhero pose, superhero pose. Sorry. So while I was in Premier today, I mentioned about the aquarium filter it's silicone to the bottom glass, and it's really hard to get anything in there. And one of the lads in there said, have you tried the piano string, which I found really interesting. I never thought about that. That's one thing I like to do when I'm at Premier. If I'm stuck, if I've got something in my head I haven't figured out, I haven't done my brain thinking about it, I'll run it past them and see if they've got any information or ideas, because they tend to come up with some good ideas. You know, and in the hobby everyone's got these little nuggets of gold, like the information that when we all share it together, it just helps the hobby. So at this point I've literally spent all day trying to get these rocks in a position I like, and I just can't seem to find position. This seems to be the best position. I'm still not happy with it, but I like this side, and I kind of like, I did like the far side, and ideally I'd like the wood to stand higher in the tank, but I like the way it curves over the rock and down. But I'm not sure, like, I wanted to fill the back with sphagnum moss peat and then maybe round here and then cap it, and then it gives me an area to plant. Plus sphagnum moss peat releases tannins into the water, and it just helps with the pH of a Blackwater tank. And with the filter box at the back, I've had a piano string behind it and it doesn't seem to go down to the last centimetre. There seems to be a lot of detritus down the back of it, like old substrate, and I can't, doesn't matter how much I try and saw, it just won't go underneath in any direction. I've tried it from several directions and it just doesn't seem to want to get down behind it. So I just feel like I'm fighting a losing battle with this tank at the moment. Plus I want to get the content out, because ideally I want to get these guys out of this tank, and I want to start setting this tank up. This is the one I'm really excited about setting up. I just really want to get a planted tank going. I've been coming in and out all day, and it's now the next day, and I've had to play with it, but I'm just not 100% happy with it. But I've just bit the bullet and I put some sphagnum moss peat in it. I've just bit the bullet and gone with it. I'm not entirely happy with it, but I can always pull it apart if it bugs me that much and start again in the future. But I just want to get this tank together for now. Oh, I don't know what you were seeing then, because I got myself some cheap aquascaping tools from Amazon. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. I don't even think it's a word. So there we are. I've smoothed it out a bit. Let's get in the tank. There we are. I've smoothed it out. It's I mounted it up at the back. What I want to do is kind of get the scape so it covers a lot of the rock, and then plant some bigger plants at the back, and then some smaller plants at the front. So now I've added some clay to the sphagnum moss peat. This has just got some nutrients in it that the plants love. So there we are. I've capped everything with a layer of sand. I'm going to sort that corner out, I don't like the way it looks. But apart from that, I'm happy with it. Tank's set up. I'm going to just leave it now to cycle for a bit. It's probably going to need a lot of water changes. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get some test strips from the aquarium shop. I'm going to go and get plants tomorrow. So behind the rocks I'm going to plant some Amazon swords, and in front of the rocks where I put the soil around there, I'm going to plant some crypts. So I'd like it to come down and spread out eventually, like kind of carpet. I know they're slow growing, but hopefully the tank should be set up for a while. I'm really liking the look of this rock now. I think it looks kind of cool now. I was disappointed with it initially, but it's kind of got a superhero pose now, and it's got a really nice colour. Contrasts the black. I've set the spotlight up above it so it shines just on the wood, and then this side's a bit darker. I don't know whether it shows on camera, but yeah. But I kind of want this side to be open water to give some swimming space, and then that side to be heavily planted. I've added loads of pebbles just to break the substrate up a bit so it doesn't look as monotone. I've also added all the leaf litter to the top. Once the leaf litter settles, you won't be able to see many of the stones. That's why I feel like I've done it really heavily, but one of the tannins coming out of that. Personally, I think that's going to look boss once it all settles. So it's now the next day. I've just come in and the tank looks like this now. I can't seem to get it. It looks a bit crazy at the moment, but a lot of the leaves are still neutrally buoyant. That was a tongue twister to say. So what I found with my other Blackwater tank was the leaves seem to sit like this for a while, and then as they absorb the water they go like paper, and then they compress right down. I've kind of overfilled it a bit, but by the time the tank's cycled and it's ready for the fish, most of the leaf matter will have gone. It just disintegrates, so I've kind of overdone it to get the tannins out of it. So what I planned on doing today was going out and getting some Amazon swords and stuff to plant up in the corner of the tank. I checked one of the local fish stores live streams out this morning, and they said that the wholesalers haven't got the order into the country, something to do with Brexit and paperwork, whatever. I'm not sure, but I wanted Amazon swords and they didn't have none earlier in the week, so obviously they were waiting for their orders today. They haven't got their orders today, and I want to get this video out, so I've literally gone around all the stores in the area looking for Amazon swords, and no store in the area's got Amazon swords. I went to the first fish shop I tried today. It was shut on a Friday. I thought that was quite strange. So, and then I went to another one, and the plants that they had didn't look, they don't look like any aquarium plants I've seen. And then the third shop I tried, when no one with a planted tank keeps these plants anyway. So anyway, shop number 4 I went to didn't have Amazon swords either, but I got some nerite snails. So there's that, but I don't know whether you can see them in there, but I've got some stunning, lovely, I call them red, they're the brown cryptocorean, wendetai, whatever you want to call them. Everyone seems to call them different things. And then I've got 3 of these, Crypticon lucens, I've never come across these before, or if I have, they haven't been pointed out to me. I've never seen them in anyone's planted tank before, but I thought, the guy in the fish shop said they're big root feeders, and I thought, well, that's great, because that's what I need for this tank. And I thought I'd give them a crack instead of my Amazon sort. What I'm going to do is plant it up. So I've got the Wendatai, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm going to plant them in front of the rocks, and then I'm going to plant the lucens behind the rock. One thing I've got, right, I'm really psyched about this. I've wanted to get these for a long time, and they were in the shop, and I don't know whether you can see them. Let's get them up close and personal. Can you see them? Black rams. There's a male and a female black ram in there. I've been after them for so long. I've been bugging the local breeder to sell me a breeding pair for a while, and it's never really happened through one thing or another. And I seen them on sale and thought, well, I've got to have them there and then. I've been after them for so long. They were going to go in I was going to put them in the tank in the living room, the Blackwater tank in there, and take out the rams in there and put them in here for now, and then transfer them into here once this is cycled. But my missus seemed to, the other half put her foot down and said, no, I want that fish. Seems to have a thing for the little baby gold ram, so let's get them planted up. So I've moved everything down that side of the tank, all the leaflets. I'm going to let it settle down that side. I'll move a bit back up as I say, it's still neutrally buoyant, so everything's floating still, but as it absorbs the water, it'll compress. That's what I found in the other tank, and then after about a month there's hardly any leaflets left in there. It seems like it just seems to rot away, or the plaques are eating it. Right, so first I'm going to get these planted. The lucens, I think they're called. Wow, there's a... This is going to fill a big area actually. There's lots in that pot. There's the camera. Can you see how much is in that pot? So what I tend to do, I don't know whether, like, what I tend to do is cut the roots off the bottom and then spread the rock wool out. Take them out and plant them separately. There's loads of roots on there, gone. So I've took a lot of the root off, and then I find it's, oh my god, it's so matted, the root. I'm going to set my little planting tray up. So I've ended up with an absolute ton of plants. Can you see that? That's just the larger one. This isn't the Wendatai, this is the other ones. But there's absolutely loads of them there. So I'm going to get these planted up, and then I'll come back to you and show you how we get on. Look at them. But these are all individual plants, so I'm going to have to plant them separate. So there we are guys, that's the whole corner planted up now. So there we are, that's where I'm up to with the tank. The black rams are in here now, dark night rams, whatever you want to call them. Tank's planted. I can't wait to get it cycled. Get the angels out of there, into there, and then I can start getting this planted up, which I'm really excited about. So let me know what you think in the comments, guys, about what you're seeing at the moment. It'd be nice to have some feedback off subscribers. Before I sign off on this video, I want to thank all the people who've subscribed. It's made a massive impact on the channel. And I want to give a special thanks to the Big Fish Lad. Like, the guys really pushed the channel for me. and I've got so many subscribers and stuff because of him. Like, I can't thank him enough. Cheers, buddy. Blackwater tank, done.